now I ask you, each of you, to honestly answer this question. If Russia came for you, could your army fight the same way? I don't want anyone to ever have to find out, God forbid. That's why we are talking about security guarantees. And that's why we believe that the core of any security guarantees for Ukraine must be NATO membership. Or if not that, then conditions that allow us to build another NATO right here in Ukraine. Because at some point there will be a border between war and peace. Where that border is drawn and how strong it is up to us. My proposal, Ukraine's eastern border, Belarus eastern border, the eastern borders of the Baltic states, Finland's eastern border. That is the strongest security line for all of us in Europe, because that is the line of international law. And do we still remember what international law is? Let's be honest, international law, these two words already sounds a bit outdated, but I believe that Europe's mission is to make sure international law still matters. And finally, one last point. What security guarantees can Putin offer? Before the war, many doubted whether Ukraine's institutions could withstand Russian and Putin's pressure, but in the end, it was Putin who faced an armed rebellion from within. He was the one who had to defend his own capital from his own warlords. That alone shows his weakness. So what happens to the million Russian troops currently fighting in Ukraine? Where they gonna fight if not in Ukraine? This is why we cannot just agree to a ceasefire without real security guarantees, without pressure on Russia, without a system to keep Russia in check. To fight us, Putin pulled troops from Syria, from Africa, from Caucasus, even from some part of Moldova. And right now, he faces a shortage of fighting forces. And if this war ends the wrong way, he will have a surplus of battle-tested soldiers who know nothing but killing and looting. And that is yet another reason why this war cannot be decided by just a few leaders, not by Trump and Putin, not by me and Putin, not by anyone here in Munich sitting down with Putin alone. We must apply pressure together to make real peace. Putin cannot offer real security guarantees, not just because he is a liar, but because Russia, in its current state, needs war to hold power together. And the world must be protected from that. So, first, the armed forces of Europe as an upgrade to NATO. Second, a common European foreign policy. Third, a level of European cooperation that Washington has to take seriously. Fourth, international law. And fifth, keeping all pressure on Russia, because that the pressure is what guarantees peace, not Putin's words, not just some papers. Putin lies. He is predictable and he is weak. We must use that now, not later. And we must act as Europe, not as a bunch of separate people. So some say that the new year comes not on January 1st, but with Munich Security Conference. This new year starts now, and let it be the year of Europe united, strong, security, and in peace. Peace for Ukraine, peace for Europe, peace for all the world, for all your families. Thank you so much. Slava Ukraini!
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was a stem-winder of a speech with a lot of challenges thrown down. I want to ask you to expand more on the American piece of this. You, after your phone call with President Trump, said that you did not hear enough detail to make this a peace plan. Can you just elaborate what you meant by that?
Can I speak Ukrainian?
No.
Okay. Don't pressure on me. Okay, so yeah, we had really a long conversation with the President of the United States. Not first one and not last, I'm sure. And I mean, really between us, I'm not sure that by phone we can manage all the plan, all security guarantees with all the details, because, you know, devil in details. Yes, and we know where is this devil, in what country now. Yes, that's why we have to stop him, to stop Putin, and it's very important for me. That's why the atmosphere of our discussion is good, but really it's always good. Yes. But we need urgent, very concrete steps. And I think we have to work on it. Our teams, well, we began, but I think that we have to start immediately to do more deep decisions.
We'll get into that in a moment, but you did also have a separate conversation with Vice President J.D. Vance last night, you and your team and his team as well. Did he provide any more details? And, you know, we have to bring up that in 2022 here, basically J.D. Vance said he didn't, and this is a quote, "I don't care what happens to Ukraine one way or another." Do you feel that he's changed, that the Trump administration and the actors you're dealing with understand what's at stake?
I'll be honest. We have to work on it. All of us, not only me. Me is not enough, really. I think we have to work because I think that, you know, we together in Europe, the war is in Europe, and America is far from the invasion. And I think that we need to share more details because, to my mind, there are a lot of different voices around new American administration, and I'm not sure that all these voices on our side. That's why we have to work with these people, even with some Europeans, as I said. Yeah. If I was understandable, I don't know,
yes,
about Mar-a-Lago, about there, yeah.
It was clear.
It was clear, but I want to repeat it, yes. It's important for them to be clear.
Do you want to name names while we're at it?
I know names, of course. I'm not sure that it's, yeah.
Let's just get back to President Trump. At a press conference...
You said about Orban. Oh, sorry.
Do you understand?
No.
Viktor Orban is what the president was saying. Mr. President, Trump was asked whether he trusted Putin. And he sort of basically ended up saying, on this, I do. But he has also said that, and frankly, it's quite difficult to extract what all the different administration officials have been saying. On the one hand, potentially that you know, maybe Ukraine had a responsibility for this war. Maybe Ukraine can't ever expect to get back. It's unrealistic, according to the Defense Secretary, its territory. Maybe Ukraine will be safe and independent. Maybe it'll be part of Russia. Do you understand what America's position is?
Yes.
Which is?
I think, to my mind, they are preparing atmosphere for their dialogue.
For their dialogue, which will be?
For the dialogue between Trump and Putin. And I think this is, I mean, this it's up to them, but they can discuss everything they want, but not about Ukraine without us. And that's why in this case, especially in this case, I think it's a little bit dangerous. That's why I said that we need to talk more with the president and to talk more with his people, with his teams. Yesterday, as you said, yes, we had good conversation, and I think that I opened some new details for vice president. That's why I said we need. It's not waste time. It's really very important, I think, diplomatic investment for the future, just and lasting peace for Ukraine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were going to say some more things.
Your order.
Yeah. You just sort of, I suddenly got flummoxed.
I'm sorry.
You said Putin doesn't want peace. I mean, you just said it loud and clear here.
It's true.
So what is the dialogue? And have you convinced the Americans that A, Ukraine has to be at the table, and B, I guess the Europeans have to convince them that they have to be
on all the levels, we directly, yes, very directly, send these messages that we have to prepare security guarantees like a main part of the stopping Putin and stop this war, and very important, essential, and we say that it can't be without us, and that's why I don't know if we don't have, from my point of view, if we don't have for today common plan, it means for me that United States doesn't have. Because if they have something, it's not about us. I mean, this about something new, but we don't want this new reality. Yes. So that's why,
I was just asking you whether you have convinced them that you must be at the table.
Of course, I said that I think that is good, that first of all we have to make a plan with you, I said to the president. It was the day when he had phone calls with Putin and with me, and first with him and then with us.
And how did that sit with you?
No, I said that...
But first with Putin and then with you?
Oh, I'm not happy. Yes, but I think that more dangerous if first meeting will be with Putin and then with Ukraine. And there are things I shared with the President Trump, that first of all we have to see common view. And I said also that at the table we need Europe also. It's very important for us. We are Europe, we in Europe, and we see our future only in EU, like a member. So that's why for us it's very important. And Europe helped us a lot. Because when I speak with different officials of the United States, of new administration, and we're thankful for them that they didn't frozen their military support. It's very important, and I'm very thankful, thanks again. But when we speak, I really understand what part of support did America during these 3 years, and what huge support made Europe. And it's important.
Did you get a commitment from President Trump that you would meet with him first? Do you have a plan to meet with the president?
No, we have our plan, of course. It's our country, and that's why it's our plan. I think it's understandable, but we need the common view. That's why we are ready for the common plan. Yeah. And I shared it with...
I'm just asking whether, because President Trump says he'll meet Putin maybe in Saudi Arabia maybe soon, has he said he will meet you?
He said to me that we have to meet, and I said to him also we have to meet. I think that I said first that we have to meet. Yes, and but we understood each other because I didn't say about it once.
You said it several times.
Yeah, so that's why I think we understood each other, and it's very important. Yes, because if we can repeat the words that each day we have losses, and if President of the United States or other leaders repeat these words, Ukraine has losses, we have to stop the war. I mean, that it meant that we have urgently to meet if we really want to stop. To meet with the concrete dates and days and plans.
So you talk about losses, obviously heavy losses. You mentioned Russia's heavy losses as well. Yeah. You were talking to President Trump, and you know that last year, around this time last year, it was President Trump and his allies in Congress which delayed for approximately 7 months the aid that was meant to come to Ukraine. When I spoke to General Zelenskyi, your commander in Ukraine, just a few months ago, he said the delay in aid did cost lives, cost territory, and cost a lot of, strategic effort in Ukraine. Did you mention that to President Trump?
No.
I see.
We spoke about delaying and about decision of the Congress, and at least positive decision. I was thankful to him. It was in September when we had meeting during his election period. I think so, or before the election period. I don't. Before, a little bit before. Yes. So it was very important, the decision. I was thankful bipartisan support and also Mike Johnson. He made positive decision. And also to President Trump, because if he wouldn't be supportive, they couldn't vote this decision. But really, help, which we needed very much, still is going. I mean, not everything came. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So it's very slow, and I think General Zelenskyy was right that one of the reasons why we